G'day viewers, this is Troy from Troy's Visual Arts channel. Here's the latest update on my restoration of my 1947 Astor FP shortwave AM radio. Okay, since my last video, I've removed the transformer from the chassis. I did label some of the wires just so I know what winding is what. Anyway, so basically from my understanding, so you got the primary windings, and you got an option of 220 to 250 volts or 200 to 220 volts. But anyway, I'm just testing on the 220 to 250 volt winding and testing out the voltages. I've already tested this transformer. Thankfully nothing went bang on the inside, so there is no shorts. But yeah, the windings are getting me close to the this transformer's got two filament windings. You got the 6.3 volts and you got your 5 volts, and you got your high voltage winding there. And there's actually a problem with the voltage reading I'm getting across the high voltage output windings, and I'll get to that very shortly. But first, I'll just show you the voltages I'm getting on the filaments. So starting with the general valve filament winding, which is meant to be 6.3 volts, I'll wind up to about 220. Yeah, on 220 volts I am getting 6.3 volts voltage. When I wind up to 240, however, I get something close to 7 volts. So yeah, about 7 volts when I wind it up to maximum 240 mains. So just wind it back to 220, and yeah, we get close to 6.3 volts. Now I'm going to put it onto the 5 volt winding, which goes to the filaments of the 5Y3G valve. And we wind it up to 220, and yeah, we're getting close to 5 volts, which is good. Wind it up to 240, we get about 5.8 volts, nearly 5.9 volts. Now, whilst that's all well and good, something smells a bit. No, I thought it was the transformer. No, it's somebody's got a wood heater going somewhere. All right. So here's where the problem is. Now these windings are the high voltage windings which go to the plates of the 5Y3G valve. We're supposed to get about 275 volts RMS. I am getting something well over double of that. Now I'm going to wind it up to, about 110 volts. At 110 volts, I'm getting 262 volts. I'm going to wind it up to 120 now. Getting nearly 290 volts. Now, if I wind it up to full mains power 240, I'm going to get something over 600 volts. So, and yeah, that's a problem because I'm supposed to be getting 275 volts RMS. Although it says that that you'll get initial surge across the first electrolytic capacitor, which will be about 370 volts. Then it drops back to 275 volts. But anyway, either way, I'm getting I'm getting more than double the expected voltage at the high voltage output windings. And yeah, I'm a bit bewildered as to why that's the case. I know there is a centre tap that goes to earth. I'm yeah, I'm trying to work out what's going on here. Unless the voltage is given, meant to be going from the centre tap to the actual winding, to each of the, unless it's like the voltage readings between the centre tap and each of the each of the windings here, unless that's the case. So I've just placed one of the leads onto the centre tap. Just going to move it out of the way. Oh yeah, the Variax powered down, so I'm pretty safe here. By the way, the Variac is also connected to an isolation transformer, which outputs 1 amp, so I've got a reasonably safe setup. Right, now I'm just going to wind it up. Wind up to maximum. I'm okay between the centre tap and that winding. Hold on, what's going on here? Yeah, does that when I have it on for too long. Alright, so I'm getting 300 volts. Okay, that's if the yes, I think it is actually for each winding, not right across both of them. Yeah, no, it looks to be, so yeah, the transformer is actually functioning properly. Okay, I'm going to wind it back to 220 volts, as it says 222.50. So 220 volts. I'm getting nearly 270 volts there, so that's good. I'm just going to power it up, going to power it down, then put this lead across the other winding, and we should be getting something similar. So wind it back up. So I'm getting a bit over 310 volts. Wind it back to 220. Getting 220 volt. Oh, I'm getting almost 270 volts. Okay, it's all good. I was just measuring. I was pretty much like measuring across both windings, which add up to something over 600 volts, instead of going from the center tap to each winding. Alright, so that's good, but that's working. Alright, so the transformer is a goer. Now, next thing to do is to get rid of the insulation off these wires, because the insulation's just cracked the buggery. As you can see, old plastic has just dried up and gone brittle. So what I'm going to do is remove the insulation and place new insulation over it. I may possibly need to extend the wires, because I end up having to cut the wires at where they're connected to, and the wires were generally pretty much about just the right length with very minimal slack. So yeah, I'm probably going to have to extend the wires. Yeah, I'll have to work out what insulation I'm going to place over these wires, just to make sure that they're well insulated. Alright, well anyway, I'm glad the transformer is actually working, apart from it looking a bit shabby and the paper's rotted over there. It's still a goer. Alright, anyhow, that's about it for this video. Stay tuned for the next update. This is Troy from the Troy's Digital Arts channel, signing out.